play around with what the final standings will be. Rise, Sivir, both banned out, as SK on the blue side will also take away the Alistar. What does Fnatic answer with? They can definitely experiment a lot more than we really have been seeing. So far, it's just been Huni in that top lane with some different stuff.
And obviously, we're not looking at Unicorns and SK's old team comps. I do believe that was the matchup they played, and that champion there that you see, Lulu, is such a staple for SK Gaming, and they really like running that. And last time they actually did pretty well against Fnatic with that, if I recall correctly. And SK Gaming, they're banning out the Rise, they're banning out the Alistar, so that's one champion away from Yellow Star, one key champion gone from Huni, but you can't ban him out anyways. Looks like SK is gonna try it. It's like we'll just ease the pain, you know. This is a painkiller right now. What you do when you ban out 2 champions of Huni, say, okay, just give me something for the pain, and then please let it stop, because Huni has an endless champion pool, so really targeting him too much isn't really gonna help you. To get rid of the Alistar, so Bora, or Yellow Star rather, I will have to play something different. Usually goes for Janna. A lot of these scenarios where you can just play defensive peel for his teammates. Fnatic don't want to get cheesed. And by cheese, I mean just an innovative pick in the top lane, obviously. Tom Kench gets removed out of the pool. Freddy,
he's having a laugh.
He's laughing. He's like, yeah, I played this champion in solo queue. You will not.
Draw band success. All right.
Oh, wow.
He's going to lock in a quick Corki, though. And, you know, this is with Kalista up.
With Kalista up, transition Corki either is making his pick into number 2 position, or Candy Panda doesn't feel comfortable carrying with it. Either way, Fnatic, will they pick up the Kalista eventually? Probably not on this rotation. This is usually where Reignover gets his pick of the litter. No jungle bans targeted. I like that. That's what SK did wrong at the start of the split. They kind of dug themselves a hole they couldn't crawl out of jungle pick-wise. And Reignover usually, when he has this many options, he kind of doesn't like picking champions. Sometimes he will just go for Olaf. Obviously, don't have the Sivir to help that composition run out. So all the Fnatic members might be saying, hey, I want to wait a minute my pick. I want to pick later. I want to pick later. So who will lock in here? Traditionally, you might see a support come out and, yeah, maybe a jungler.
Yeah, and he has really liked this Rek'Sai more than anybody else. I think also the Tristana, perfectly fine. We've been seeing a little bit more of it in play. So no Kalista this time around. Reckless says, all right, I'll get some practice on somebody else. But for SK's side, this Corki, I mean, technically it's got a better win rate for Candy Panda than the Kalista does, but it does speak that he doesn't really prefer to play that, or at least he doesn't think it's going to work well with the team. And
Reckless, with that Tristana pick, does set him up for a counter to potential Corki mid, because Corki mid means you will run Kalista bot, and Kalista bot is very bad into Tristana. Not that that's going to happen, I just want to throw that out there.
It's always possible. We've seen weird stuff today, that's for sure.
I do like Tristana as a champion. I think she's kind of underrated and underplayed right now. She has a lot of potential for raw damage on lane. She was probably one of the few kills that I can still see solo killing, or 2v2 killing lanes. Really, because you have that offensive jump, and then combine that maybe with a Thresh, then you can jump in offensively, lantern out defensively if you want. If you go Janna Tristana, we might see a very turret push heavy approach from Fnatic coming out. That Rex towers, it just tears right through them. And it's also a safe lane to play into what SK Gaming likely will play. Corki Lulu is just AFK shove almost, just push, 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 poke. No raw all-in damage, so playing Janna Trist into that might facilitate that. Might be something we will see Bora, Yellow Star pick up here. I was calling him by his first name.
Everyone's known for now, but
because we go way back, but yeah. I think that would be a good pick here. Then they have double peel from Janna Rek'Sai, and they can build more poke around that and just play full on meta poke.
SK definitely going back to a few old favorites. This Lulu choice, it has been N-rated, I would say signature champion, but he had been moving away from it to go to the Shen, of course, with that band away. Kind of a no-brainer to pick it up at this point. We don't know Fnatic's support, but if they'd wanted to take that away, even seen it in the top lane a few times when Huni had been exorbitantly banned, they sent it on him. Yeah, although they do have their pick of it. I mean, this time there hasn't really been anything targeting at them, which is something that is new for this Fnatic squad. And SK, you know, they just don't think they can necessarily take anyone off the board, so they don't try.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 wins on SK Gaming are with that Lulu pick.
There's something a bit different.
For SK Gaming, but as I was saying, Fnatic can beautifully round out this composition with poke and peel. They say, no, we're trying something different. This is looking to be a top lane Trundle, which is very good into tanks. Obviously, because you can steal their resistances, make them squishy, and it split pushes pretty well. Doesn't really team fight all that great, nor does Fizz. Wondering if any of these champions is just a weird support, kind of, because I don't see the reason to reveal both. Because the only champion that I can see that you really want to play after this might still be that Janna for disengage. However, if you're going to go into a 1-3-1, They're holding the support position for Yellowstar, but let's assume it's not Trundle support. Let's assume it's not Fizz support, which is so unlikely. This means Fizz will go into the mid lane. Blind pick. It's kind of like Aurelia. I want to dive in, but you have no exit strategy. I used to be played in mid lane a lot back in the day when AP Fizz was just so strong. Tabs was a big advocate of that. And then SK, they're running their composition full meta. They have a tank in the top lane. They have Lulu to buff up that tank, which they always have. They have 2 carries, which they always have. One of them is now AD mid, which is great because Corki is otherwise too AP heavy. So they have a good mix of damage. All in all, a very meta composition. The only risk they run is that they're running 2 damage threats, and if SK get behind when they do that, they have low damage in fights. Fnatic, on the other hand, are going for a full-on split push composition here.
And they may just be able to do it. I am surprised that SK did decide to opt for that Maokai, given what they will be facing in that lane. And we were talking about it all this last week, that SK, they are one of these teams that really only is running these 2 threat compositions, and it can continue to punish them here.
Oh, this could be Jarvan support for an all-in lane. Let's not talk hovers just yet. Let's talk the remaining champions. Fizz top or Trundle top, both do. Oh, one of them support.
There we go.
I'm just
Fizz support. Wait, or is it?
No, I'm just not gonna make any judgments.
Yeah, I have
Trundle support.
All right, so it won't be facing off this.
So Trundle support, if it ends up being that, let's just theorize why one would play that. The pillar is disengage and peel because people get stuck there. It is also a form of engage setup. If you pillar near a Jace, after he uses his gate, he gets slowed a bit, then he gets stuck, so he might be getting engaged upon. Fizz does incredibly well into Maokai over in LPL, was used to be picked a lot. It was Cinderhulk Fizz at first. Later on, now we're bringing the Ignite back, so it's full on damage Fizz. So you definitely want to see a lane swap from SK come out to keep that Fizz down on the wraps, because Ignite on Huni, we passed the 20 seconds mark, so Yellowstar is playing a support that can neutralize tanks into a team, SK Gaming, that usually runs double tank composition. So in that sense, it could offer some potential, because Yellowstar as a support, you say Trundle is not tanky, but because he can leech those resistances from people that build pure tank, like that Maokai, you can actually get pretty tanky in fights yourself and also neutralize that threat and then allow your skirmishers to get on top. Huni especially, he will also get the help from Fevin on that Twisted Fate. I will talk about this later. Let's just introduce
we'll get it into the game.
The game first, and then we can go back to these compositions.
All right, guys, you know the drill. Hashtag SK win or hashtag FNC win. If you think Fnatic is going to continue this streak 17 games in a row, or if you think SK can shut it down, I just want to know what the surprise Trundle support's going to do.
So in terms of individual matchups, I don't know how the first few levels go, but later on, level 4 or 5, Fizz, as the crowd is cheering for Fnatic.
I don't think they're going to stop, crowd.
Very peculiar composition. I'll give him 5 seconds. I'll go back to my analysis. Fizz should win against Maokai, so you usually want to swap away from that. However, Corki, Lulu have the advantage against Trundle, Tristana in the bot lane. I don't think they have the best dueling potential because you can just kite the Trundle all the time.
And Tristana's not necessarily known for a very strong early game either. They're going to want to have a little bit more time to farm up a little bit.
If supports are even, in extended trades, she does very, very well with that new changed E, because every single auto attack you add on, then you can jump on top of well, do extra damage from that explosion. Pretty good all-in lane. However, with a melee support, against double range, against double poke, against AFK push, it will be pretty tricky. But Fnatic will obviously not swap themselves unless they're expecting a swap, because Huni doesn't have smite.
Oh, nice job, Yellowstar. Replaces with his own ward. He goes back to base for a minute.
Yeah.
But it looks like we should be in for a lane swap, as Reckless has already gone up to the top side. They don't want to take on the 2v2.
Candy Panda showed very long in the bottom lane, so Fnatic is doing this with the full knowledge of the lane, so they prioritize their bot lane over their top laner. They're saying, okay, we're going to keep our split push skirmisher Fizz down in a double jungle, facilitate that Tristana Trundle lane, because otherwise it'll just get destroyed 2v2, and trade that up for the third push potential. Obviously, they'll keep the one tank Maokai down in the process. Let's see how much experience Huni picks up here. There's different approaches to do this when he comes a little late. Over in Korea, if you watch SKT, very often Bengi will just sacrifice the first camp entirely to his top laner. Harden, and then they share the second camp very often too. So he comes up with a very big experience lead. This could be a strategy coming in for Fnatic as well. Just get Huni ahead You know, sacrifice your jungle, get him ahead in the top lane, facilitate your early game with your bot lane right here. Tristana is good in these denial situations. Kind of peculiar that Freddy's setting this up for himself. He likes doing this traditionally, walking into a lane 2v1, but usually ends up getting the worst half of that exchange, honestly.
Yeah, he's not going to do very well at all against this swap up. And, you know, once we get to the later levels, if this continues, Yellowstar will certainly be able to put a hurting on him. Let's take a look back when these guys met. It was all the way back in week number 1. Fnatic obviously would say they won, but, you know, that's not important right now because it happened so long ago. Back to this game,
this is the exchange.
So denied.
This is the exchange you're looking for. Pillar onto jump. Perhaps no explosion. Yeah, Reckless is not skilling. I believe his explosion on his E because he wants to keep this lane frozen, wants to keep it pushing back. If Maokai wants to CS, he throws saplings, pushes the lane back, and then there is an auto attack reset, I believe, on the Q from Trundle. I want to see Yellowstar use that more. When he's coming in level 2, they're setting up the scout into the dive, potentially, on Freddy, just keeping him down. Obviously, Huni could teleport down to soak up that massive experience on the bottom lane too. However, he's afraid to do that because he has no idea of where the enemy jungle's fence is. So Fnatic, with a D2, are ending up in this 3v0 push. They forced Freddy away, which in my opinion, didn't really work out all that great for him.
Yeah, he's in a whole lot of trouble right now with Fnatic able to push on this tower. Freddy, we've seen what happens to Maokais in Europe when they can't get farmed.
Yeah, he did get farmed. That's the thing though. While it may look that he has 6 CS against 2 and he got maybe even a little more experience, what they lose is momentum on the tower push. This tower goes down while SK is stacking a slow push on the bottom lane. They haven't even touched the tower yet. Now will Fnatic make it back in time? We don't know, but they have the first move and the momentum in the lane swap. And not only that, they bounce that wave backwards already for Huni, so he will safely farm a lane that pushes back to him. Look at this tower. This tower is not going down anytime soon. Whereas traditionally SK Gaming in their Lulu plus Corki lane whittles that tower down over time. It now stays at 90% HP, completely outplayed on the map by Fnatic. Big advantage.
Big advantage to them as well. And the AD carries really don't have that much disparity either. Yeah, it's a 5 CS advantage to Candy Panda. That's about to equalize anyways. He's on his way back to base. Meanwhile, Fox will burn a quick flash to get away from the Reignover Febiven combo.
And just pressure. Reignover could have flashed afterward, but they obviously had no idea where Svenska was, so a little bit of respect still there. They say, that's all we have to do. Burn that flash because Fox still had his cleanse available.
We're talking about this last game. You don't necessarily have to flash after whoever you're targeting. If you can get them to burn it, you know within the next few minutes you can come back, pressure them again, grab them. It's been time and time again in this mid lane. Now, Reckless gonna check right into N-rated, finds a little bit of damage there. Candy Panda will get a little bit more on him as he turns his attention to the Lulu. Comes off a bit worse for Wear in that case, but he's got a few pots to chug.
It looks very rough for Reckless to take that trade longer, but you have to remember, they just used all their spells. This is a very spell-heavy bot lane, Corki and Lulu. So eventually, once they've used that QE combo on the support and the Corki Q, the longer extended trades are in favor for Reckless. However, Rated does the right thing. He says, well, if you want to keep trading, I will just put Ignite on you. You'll have to opt out. So good trade by the SK Gaming bot lane. Our Fnatic is still that 1 tower ahead, and Huni, he can farm, get the lane back, even teleports back to his own tower. Nobody's denying him that CS. Nobody can dive him anymore. So he'll be getting ahead. Fnatic can play the map again. They're waiting for teleport to be available in the form of Destiny on the Twisted Fate, and then they want to make openings on the side lanes. Fnatic's composition does not want to group at all. They want to make picks. So the man to watch is Febiven right now. Destiny is available.
Wherever he goes, that will be where we're sure to follow. So Freddy did manage to get a little bit more CS back for himself. After all of that, when he wasn't dealing with Huni, he had a slow farm fest for himself. But after he backs away, Huni's going to trade it back. Just goes back and forth. The teleport advantage is in his favor. However, as you mentioned, now level 6, Febiven has Destiny available. If SK try to make a play around Dragon, if they try to get a man advantage, the skirmish could easily go Fnatic's way. The longer this one goes on. Svenskeren gets a ward down in the jungle, but can't get out much else for it.
And if you see this bottom lane play out, you see why Fnatic initiated that lane swap, because they just get out-traded so very easily, and melee support on Yellowstar just means you have no trade potential because you have to walk into melee range, and it's just not going to work out. Reignover's coming back for Fox here though. No real follow-up, just a ward war coming out, keeping Fox pressured in. That's the way to play. Hover your jungler like Reignover's doing right now around mid lane, allowing Febiven to push. That frees him up to Destiny to the side lanes. SK is notorious for pushing in the bot lane all the time. Pushing leads to the ability of getting flanked, and we might see an interrupt on the Valkyrie here with the knock-up or focus on Unrated.
Rainover's going in. There's the frozen domain.
Yes!
Tries to flash. They stop it. Another one goes down, and Raided's the one they target. He's got the explosive on him, and he's gonna go down. First blood, and down goes the Squid.
This is so beautiful from Rainover. He holds his flash in the mid lane early on in the game because he knows he can get more value out of it. One flash to interrupt the Valkyrie, forces double flash, and then it plays out very methodical. You know, Fnatic just chases them down. And Kenny Panda should have probably flashed Valkyrie himself. Get away there.
Perfect interrupt. Let's take a look back to the top lane as Huni has found
Level 6.
damage onto Freddy, thanks to Chum the Waters. Does he need... No, he doesn't. The minions are able to finish it off.
Fnatic plays with these minion waves so damn well. They lose on purpose on bot lane because that's the way to play it. Respectively, get pushed in. It allows a flank from Rainover to come in behind over that wall. SK is notorious for pushing all the lanes. However, due to minion wave manipulation and early game experience sharing, Huni hits level 6 before Freddy does. Instant all-in with that Ignite, aggressive summoner. Now, Fnatic is playing so well to their strengths, even with this experimental composition. Can't just say that I'm a fan of it, but I'm a fan of them trying. They don't need to play metagame anymore. They've locked in first place spot. They don't really care about this 18-0 as much, allegedly.
So they say.
So they say.
Sure, it would be nice. Now Fox is going to try to finish off Febiven, who's going to flash ghost his way out of the area as Yellowstar puts up a pillar. Fox will be able to get away, and Raided was waiting the wings anyways, but still. Narrowly avoided Febiven. It's his lucky day after all.
An early sidestone from Yellowstar. So what does he do? He doesn't run back to his lane on bottom immediately because putting wards around your bot lane is being selfish. Putting wards around the mid lane and deeper into the enemy jungle provides vision for the entire team. Fnatic as a team works so well. My vision. We see Febiven, logs gold card. This is Destiny. No cleanse.
Look for Fox. He goes to the skies, but he's going to go back to base. It looks like they just need another card on him. And with the help of a pillar, they get it. Freddy, way too late to finish this one off. Tries to find some extra damage, and Raided's there, but it is going to be a 2v3 as Freddy goes down. Sven Scare and Unrated on the run. Playful Trickster. Huni, does he have the damage? Chum the Waters. Not quite enough. Yellowstar still looking for more.
Oh, he's stuck.
Stops the escape route from Unrated, slowly walking away. Finally gets out.
Foul for Freddy and Fox. 2 red cards. Febiven pulls out to finish them off. What a roam. Again, this is what Huni likes to do. This is reminiscent of Lemon Dogs when they played with... What was his name again? Top laner, ruined to join. The old Lemon Dogs top laner. I keep forgetting it. He was supposed to join Element.
You're going pretty far back.
Yeah. Okay, Zara Zero. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah,
he used to love doing this. Push up the lane in the top lane, roam through the river, and assist Nuke Duck in the mid lane. Rainover.
All right, no more history lesson. We've got no time. 2 flashes to follow Rainover, but he might just get away. There's a big rocket, a hammer shot, and finally Fox will polish him off.
History pauses for action, but we can go back because this is the style Fnatic wants to play. Win your lanes 1v1, open yourself up to roams, and then assist 1v2, 3v1 skirmishes. Nobody expected Huni to come in there. Destiny, you know it's available, but then there's so many variables that you have to keep in check. This is why River Vision is so important and fundamental against compositions that Fnatic is running. You want to see when the teleport comes out. You want to see when Twisted Fate walks into the river for the Destiny. Vision is everything, especially when you play a style like SK Gaming where you're so reliant on pushing your lanes.
Yeah. And even though that much has been very telegraphed to Fnatic, they've done exceptionally well in being able to punish it. Yes, it's only 4-1 in kills. Yes, it's only 10 minutes into the game, but they've got a solid gold lead. And with something that is a little bit different, they've continued to throw SK through a loop.
Oh, Yellowstar, I can't believe he's actually making this work. 0-0-3 on Trundle support, first one to level 6. Moby boot sidestone, doing what a support does. Has that ultimate available to neutralize these tanks, which are Gragas and Maokai on Fnatic. Huni
seen this again.
Will just go 1v1 with or without the help from Febiven.
Maybe he's going to go 2v1. Freddy's finished off. It's Febiven that gets the kill. Rainover, however, will be equalized by Fox once again, who picks up his second kill.
Rainover lost in rotation right there. This opens up the mid lane tower, get some of that accelerated shots. I believe Huni could actually solo Freddy in the top lane, so I'm not sure if he needed that. Destiny. Fnatic losing that mid lane tower. We have to remember this composition has only TF as wave clear. Duel in the bot lane.
Reckless.
No heal.
Enough damage to finish Candy.
Minions.
He doesn't have a heal. Minions, they're there, but they're not enough. Candy Panda makes the outplay.
Peculiar. Not used to seeing that from Reckless over playing his hand. Corki is an incredibly good duelist with that Sheen. Multiple parks coming in there. Fnatic, a Reckless Otter is very straight in his approach. Yellowstar could cancel the back here.
He does. We'll be able to finish him off too. Or maybe just a minute. There we go.
The bravado in that play. Counting 9 seconds. He's known he's fed. Don't flash out here. He might be gone. Flash pillar. into Ignite to keep the vision in the brushes. Good play by Yellowstar, and this makes it okay. This makes this mistake from that Reckless just made disappear. And that's what Fnatic does. They cover for each other.
Yes, they do. So Yellowstar gets himself a kill.
Another deep ward.
A little bit of deep ward down. They're still the turret to contend with, and they don't want to dive FNC at this point. Reignover and Yellowstar are going to roam a bit together. There's that support jungle synergy that when we talk about the best teams always have a lot of. They will be able to finish off Crab to set themselves up for an eventual dragon.
But just keep watching Yellowstar whenever he wards. He very rarely ends up warding defensively because he saves some stacks on that side stone. He puts it at the golems right now, or the Crux as they're called right now, one behind Dragon. So there's no opportunity for the jungler to come in unspotted. He has to either go to River, there's a ward. Behind Dragon, there's a ward. At the Crux, there's a ward. So very offensive. But yes, you could do this cheaper. Put your ward maybe perhaps in Tribush, but then you don't get the freedom to push up like they're doing right now, and this manifests into a safest tower ever. Ooh, Reckless can go low though.
Yeah, Candy Panda can go in, Reckless.
But they can do this because they have the vision. They can go this low on these pushes because they know well ahead in advance if somebody's coming. The only thing that could stop them is teleport from behind. Fnatic's so good at timing, they likely know that it's down on Freddy still, so I love the way they use their vision.
They do certainly have the edge on that. However, SK have found a rare window of opportunity to try and start this dragon. There's no response, there's no teleport from Huni, the Destiny's up, but there's no one else on the map to be able to do anything about it.
And that's because Fnatic base in unison. They know if they go for the tower, the follow-up objective that they lose is dragon, but in this meta game, dragons don't matter all too much. Huni based topped up his items, his mana, his HP. He's not split pushing. Reignover is full HP. The bot lane will come back and fill resources. Febum's in the mid lane, and now Fnatic can put the counter pressure up again. 1-3-1. Don't let SK Gaming group. Just make your picks.
Yes, indeed. And they have been known to give up a couple dragons early on now and then because they're still able to make it count later on in the game. See what SK is doing here, though. They are sending quite a lot towards this bottom side.
Yeah, because of that, because of so many people in the bottom side, Yellowstar, no flash though.
He's got Febubin, but he might go down here. Gold card is on. It's immediately going to be cleansed. Yellowstar on the run. Can he get away? No, it's FNC who will finish him off with a barrel, but he himself is stunned up. Reignover looking to halt the advance. Knocked up. FNC blown up by Reckless, and now Fox is on the run. Another gold card. He doesn't have another cleanse, and Febubin will pick him up. A 2-for-1.
A good sequence of events. SK Gaming tries to group on the bottom lane. Fnatic realized this. Blue steal over on the left side of the map. Huni split pushing on the left side of the map. Fnatic playing to the strong side. Yes, Yellowstar oversteps a little bit, but he stalls long enough with that ultimate, with that regen coming in, to force the Gragas ulti to come out, and then Fnatic zero hesitation, all in. They know Reignover will go for that play. Huni goes wide, but Freddy's gonna walk into it.
Yeah, Freddy's still taking a lot of damage though. Ignites on, however, Huni has to Playful Trickster out of the way, but Candy Panda senses an opportunity and takes him down.
Yeah, Febun saw what was happening on the map due to Destiny. He said, well, Huni, you went too early. You're in
on your own, mate.
You're on your own. Just push the mid lane, but yeah, it's just so interesting to see how well Fnatic can turn the tides in those fights. Your support gets cut out, you get 2 kills for it.
Yeah.
That usually doesn't happen. And they just back out immediately from that bot lane where SK was surrounding them with 4 people because they see the plays that are coming. They play around that, they react, and they always get something at the other side of the map.
Exactly. Fnatic knows how to take, if not advantage, at least something out of every single play they make. This is why they're sitting here at 16-0 in the European LCS, looking to make it 17. Huni, Playful Trickster's away, FNC and Fox are coming for backup while Yellowstar and Reckless are on the bottom side. Destiny is not available. SK should be able to finish this tower off as the rest of Fnatic have backed away. Yeah,
Fnatic will always have to yield this 4-man group from SK Gaming. SK Gaming's lineup is too strong grouping, however, 2v1 it usually is very hard to push into a Maokai, but because of the ultimate on Trundle support, it could actually be possible for Freddy to get dove here. And while SK pick up a tier 1 tower in the top lane, Fnatic redistributing their players around the map nets them a tower in the bot lane, but this time it's a tier 2 one. Febun's also farming mid lane, stealing away the Raptors, so minor advantages left and right here for Fnatic, while SK is forced to group. And obviously this manifests in the gold count.
Yeah, it definitely adds up over time. Fnatic have themselves about 4,500 ahead. And that's all with the help of a couple extra towers. They may have given up that Dragon to SK, but they do not need it at all.
And you see how traditionally whoever gets ahead in these type of games, when there's such a clear mismatch between compositions, one likes to group and siege, one likes to do 1-3-1 split push. If the 1-3-1 gets ahead and keeps the pressure up, it's incredibly hard to break out of that. And this was the fall of the teamfight metagame from Season 2, transitioning into Season 3 very often too. People would group, but because they would put so much time with so many members in one lane, experience, gold, and resources would be gained in the other lanes, all three at once. And then if you overcommit to killing one guy, the other two lanes would just simply punish you across the map. And it was really the first innovation in League of Legends, and it's carried on. And Fnatic is playing well, and they were actually traditionally the team in Europe to master that too. I remember playing against them, Season 3, the old lineup with Yellowstar. Carry, I believe it was.
At the time, yeah. Now Fnatic moving in, they have their sights set on this second tier in the middle. Tristana just shreds through these like a hot knife. Yellowstar, quick flash to predict the big barrel from Sven. So they will be able to get out, no fuss, no muss, but it did cost them a little bit.
That's what they want to do, just find that opening. SK Gaming wants to lock them down, stop that from happening. I think so far ahead that they don't even need to split anymore. They just want to consolidate that last tower. In a 1-3-1, once that last tier 2-1 goes down, you can start playing 4-1. Huni in the top 4 in the mid lane. You just want to get those outer turrets. That global goal for your team. Now SK, this is what they like. There's no pressure yet from Huni. They have teleport and they can siege.
They can indeed, however, there is a little bit of wave clear to contend with here. Fnatic do step up to the plate, however, SK have managed to find a little bit of damage on that tower. No one's going back to stop the Huni. He's trying to build a wave up against it. Maybe eventually Freddy will teleport in. There he goes.
Teleportless Huni forces a teleport on Freddy. Mid lane gets held on by Fnatic. Very important. Only with really wave clear from Feven, setting up these creeps for explosive shots from Reckless. This in turn leaves Dragon exposed, but it's still a minute for that Dragon, and it's only in the second one. I don't really care about that.
They've got the sideway pressure at the moment. They forced Freddy to teleport. SK are running around trying to catch Fnatic with their pants down, but they're too slippery. It's not just Huni. It's his team across the board.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a look at the items now. We're 18, 19 minutes into the game. The strategy has been laid out. Before we move to items, just look at the vision. How well is Huni being protected at the left side of the map? There's a tunnel for Rek'Sai to get there. 2 deep wards, 2 pink wards. A semicircle of 9 more wards. There's so much vision.
They lost one, but that's okay.
They lost the war. So much good vision coming out of Fnatic.
Covered.
And that's
all over the place.
That's because they play double side zone every game almost. I don't think I've seen Reignover not build side zone because vision is so valuable to them and they play so well around it. Look, Reignover uses that tunnel immediately, gets into the enemy jungle.
Very deep.
This buff has been stolen twice in a row now by Fnatic, and that's what they're doing. They're choking out the life out of SK Gaming. Their only counterplay is group and just Hail Mary. Everyone comfortably max range, steal that away, and SK Gaming waiting for their power spike on their Jace. Get that Muramana, Last Whisper finish now too. A lot of armor pen for that poke. Corki's already past his power spike. Triforce is gone. Maokai is getting tanky, but the longer this game goes on, he will still lose those duels to Fizz. At least the pressure.
And you can see that manifesting itself across the map. SK are stretched a little thin here. The Dragon might be up for grabs in a moment as Reckless and Fed
N-rated.
Looking for N-rated, preemptively flashing, avoiding not the shock blast as it hits Fevivin in the back. Still, they have a chance now to contest this Dragon or at least force SK out into the open.
And flash on Lulu doesn't really matter all too much. Fnatic do get a good grasp of where SK is with that Destiny. They're sending Huni to base. Let's see if he buys home guards for that teleport or not. For a flank, Fnatic has the positional advantage. SK is grouped though.
Dragon, they get the gold card, they look for Candy Panda, should be able to take him down, he's gonna flash right into Reignover and get knocked up again. The barrel attempts to push them all back, but not before the support and AD carry are down. Sven scared, going to the wrong base, he's taken down, and Huni comes up with a couple more.
Beautiful vision control flank from Fnatic here, but that gold card or whatever stunned Candy Panda. Should never happen. Never allow SK to do that. That's what they do. They find those threats on Fnatic and then eliminate them, just like they're eliminating Freddy right here.
Yeah, he's not got any way to escape. Fevivin will finish him off. Fnatic, we see this week after week. Once they turn on the pressure, it's a scary sight.
And it's Seek and Destroy here. Flash gold card on Candy Panda. That's enough. Reckless goes in. Candy Panda's forced to flash into Reignover, who then unburrows. He held that for so long, and then no amount of explosive cascades are gonna work for you. SK as a team, they want to keep Fnatic in front of them. If they get flanked from multiple angles, it's over. Too much assassination power, especially when Feven reads that beautifully and flash gold card aggressively. That's what you gotta do. You gotta realize how you play out these fights. If I flash in and stun the AD carry in a double threat composition, it doesn't even matter if I die. It's a good trade because Fnatic is playing triple threat. And one of them even has a reset, so
yeah,
throwing in your life as TF is definitely the right thing to do.
Saving grace here for SK is they didn't give up any objectives to Fnatic in the aftermath of that fight. but it was a close thing, and there's still a lot of pressure on the side. SK is going to go back to the tried and true, try to finish off this mid tower, but they're in serious danger of losing out in the top and losing out in the bottom. Huni is dueling it out with Freddy right now. Even though he's under tower, he's just going to try to finish this one off before he takes the damage. Throws on the fish. He's going to do it both at the same time, and can he slip his way out? Meanwhile, Reckless still uncontested in this bottom. They've given up a second tier, but they can get so much more.
Yeah, that second tier tower in the bot was already gone. Second tier in the top is gone now. This allows for you to play 1-3-1 again. You need to split push 4-1 kind of to usually open up that top lane tower, but now you can push side lanes and then you can pinch. You can go from left side, right side to force SK to back off that mid lane tower. Meanwhile, Fnatic defended so well in mid lane with only TF as wave clear. Yellowstar was pillaring the creeps to slow them down, but didn't really help. They lost their T2 mid tower, but they don't really care. Longer lanes are always in favor for TF because there are multiple more positions that people can get caught out pushing, especially with the quality of vision control that Fnatic have as a team.
The man himself in that mid lane, Febiven, he has had a fantastic game, just able to casually stroll up and finish off a target, grab so many blue buffs. They're making it easy for him, but he's certainly doing a lot of work with what he's got.
Definitely so. And looking at Yellowstar, jungle support, first time in the European LCS, building a Locket.
Bold statement.
So he goes Moby Boots, Sidestone into Locket, purely playing for his team. He neutralizes those enemy tanks by stealing their resistances, shares more resistances to his team too. And then yeah, lets them carry. This is what he does usually. Usually does it by peeling. This time he does it by shot calling. SK completely yielding left side of the map. Yeah, this is as free as a Baron gets.
Yeah.
Will they trade it for inhibitor is the question. That is the only question that matters. Improved recalls are only 4 seconds now. So we're going to see improved recalls with the home guards from the Baron and maybe additional home guards too.
2 towers traded for this Baron. Will they give up the inhibitor? It looks like that's going to be the case. Fnatic are racing to try and catch them. The inhibitor goes down, but will they lose a few of their lives? Fox, he's going to get knocked up to the skies and taken down by Reckless, looking for even more as Freddy has also melted down and raided, looking.
He's still at Sonya's.
Finish off. It's going to be a Rainover going around the backside. Febiven gets his gold card on. That's a double kill for Huni in the meantime. Febiven trying to make this his lucky day, and he does. Gets the ace. 25 minutes, not even. Fnatic get a lot off of that one.
You almost have to try this as SK Gaming right here. Go for the double tower inhibitor. Somewhat stall out the game because you're already so far behind. But look at this. Yellowstar with the home guards. This pillar right here. 2 people blocked off. 2 carries. Huni connects with Fox. He's dead. And now Reckless, he can start playing trampoline. He's going to jump on one guy, then the next. And then Febiven, he does his job again. He always knows what to do. Backs out a little bit, puts on Destiny, and just closes the exit path. Red card damage, slow on Candy Panda, and then he knows he has Zonia, so he can stall. Even if he dies right here, doesn't matter.
No problem.
Cleanup crew, because Huni's still there. Reckless has resets, and now Fnatic can just push down bottom lane. Just neutralize that inhibitor they just lost and completely take control of this game.
So despite losing that first inhibitor, you can just see this map. It's so red all over the place because Fnatic have not only got the vision control, the sidewave control, the jungle control. SK don't have a lot going for him in this one.
Yeah, Fox is playing Jace, a poke champion with CDR in the mid lane that relies on blue buffs. He hasn't seen a blue buff in the last maybe 15 minutes, I believe. 3 consecutive ones stolen away. Like, remember, we were only 25 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
The way you see this map being played out, the amount of towers taken, you know, inhibitors down, Barons traded. Last game, nothing happened until 40 minutes, until people decided to base phase. Completely different game here from Fnatic.
And they're doing it on an interesting number of picks as well. It is nice and refreshing to see them do that. Febiven still stacking that score. Hasn't been killed this game. Yellowstar, however, might be caught. Throws the pillar. Freddy follows him in, but there's a teleport coming in for Huni. They might be able to turn this around. Throws the fish and raided. Rainover gets knocked back, but Candy Panda gets picked up. The Urchin strike. Reckless knocks Fox out, and now Freddy tries to make something happen, but he goes down. Reckless resets on his jump, and all of a sudden it's only Spence Garen, and it may not be for long. They don't need to finish him off. They can go mid.
Watch the damage from Febiven this fight. He just finished Rabadon's death cap. In addition to having Zhonya's Hourglass and that Lich Bane, he was almost 3-shotting tanks. He collected 1 gold card on Candy Panda, and then wild cards came out. Only 1 Q strike from
Still chasing the Grog.
From Fizz coming out was enough to finish it off, and Fnatic just has so much damage right now. This game is, yeah, almost
not your base.
Impossible to come. Yeah, Sven, wrong base. Huni reset the tower with Flame Tricksters once the minions come in. Fnatic not deciding to take any risks. Second inhibitor goes down, 2 of them down. Sven Skaren is taking the scenic route of the Summer's Rift. This is a relatively newish upgrade that we've seen. You know, some nice art, color palette change.
Full of many dangers, though.
Full of many dangers.
Earth Sharks.
Now, usually you let this happen. This is a duel of junglers. You do not interfere.
Well, Yellow Star, the memo. He's coming in. Deal those resistances.
That's just lame.
Oh, Sven.
A gentleman's duel is not to be interrupted, even when you have 18-0.
Well, Reckless joined the party. I think it's going to end pretty soon. Down he goes. Reckless will get a long overdue kill.
Disappointed in Fnatic. Looks like they do want that victory.
All is fair on Summoner's Rift.
All is fair. Even Trundle Sport.
Yeah. It's working pretty well this game, I think.
1-1-16.
Yellow Star is a man of many talents. Dragon's up in another minute. However, SK are on the ropes now. 15,000 gold behind, 2 inhibitors to 1.
Just a warning for people to... Somebody inevitably is watching this game, sees 1-1-16 on Trundle Support, it's gonna like, it's gonna be me.
Don't do it. Do not try this at home.
If you try this at home, be wary of your laning phase. It's gonna suck. You're gonna cry tears. Find that tanky tank, then steal resistances. Don't run into those fights first, because do what always ask yourself, what would Yellow Star do? Alright,
point.
mid game, late game, whatever it's called. Fnatic 22-6 right now.
Yeah,
16k ahead. Wait for the Destiny. Wait for that final inhibitor. Something will eventually happen here, and that's gonna put SK in a coffin. They are so far behind right now in a composition that relies on grouping.
Big wave at the top side. They're going to try to corner and grab somebody off of Fnatic, but it's going to be so hard now that they're finally so far ahead, they just feel that they can safely group. Only 1 inhibitor remains. It's on the bottom side. Fnatic are making a beeline for it. There's only 1 tower guarding it, and the rest of SK is coming to try and clear out the top, but they have a job of it.
Fnatic, right now, they don't even have to split push anymore. They can just let minions do it for them, group and dive. They can send Febiven in with the Hourglass, go full Messiah. Wave clear is not even enough. JSQ is down. This tower is going to melt.
They don't need to dive. They've got Reckless on this Tristana, shredding through the tower. The fish is on. Svenskeren gets chomped. Tower's taken out. Huni goes in. Rainover's on the backside. Steal those resistances, says Yellow Star. Looking for even more. And raided. Blown back by Reckless. Now Huni a little low. Candy Panda, he's going to go down as well. Destiny comes out. Svenskeren, that's his 5th under career death, and that is not going to make him happy. Febiven on the steps of the fountain, and Fnatic on the steps of 17 wins in a row. Freddy is trying to chase him down, but it looks like it might be his lucky day, and he makes it out yet again. Nexus towers are falling. SK cannot hold back the tide, and Fnatic are 1 win away from the perfect season.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we asked ourselves, is Fnatic struggling in the early game? You know, are they really that good? Is Europe just bad? And it just shows that they were experimenting. They were holding back in a lot of these games, because to pick Trundle Support, Fizz top, this is such a risky composition, but it's good to learn how to play this, because inevitably, one team will play this against you. And the only way to really master a composition and defending against it is by playing it yourself. And being a master of a 1-3-1 composition, as a shot caller, whoever it is, whether it's a team, whether it's full on Yellow Star, is so important heading to Worlds. Because you need to learn how to play team fight, you need to know how to neutralize team fight, you need to learn how to play split push, play around your weaknesses and your strengths. The lane swap went perfectly. Even though Huni prefers to be in lane early, they put him in the jungle, get him the necessary experience, bounce the wave, take a full turret advantage against the Corki Lulu, which inevitably would make you lose your laning phase and then sacrifice your tower. So a good read about what they need to get through the early game, and then once TF hit 6, it was left, right, center, Destiny everywhere. Even if they yield the mid lane tower, it didn't really matter.
Now, Fnatic turned on the heat. They just knew how to play this, not this particular composition, they knew how to play against what everyone agrees has been this very meta setup. SK with their 2 threats, not nearly enough. They got out-rotated, they got not just outplayed, but all across the board. Fnatic,
see, that's what you see. Reckless is disappointed because he died to Candy Panda.
Yeah.
That's the face. Yeah. Where it's like, yeah, we won, but I should never die there. Doesn't matter right now, because Fnatic is so good at covering each other's mistakes, but that's what they're doing. They are perfecting a product that they're routinely grinding out with that man on your screen, right? Daylor. Obviously, you never know how much impact he has, but based on assumptions and what we've seen in the Life of Legends videos from Fnatic, you know, just watching him on stage, talking to him backstage, he is really driving that team home as a very mature